Hi, my name's Dylan. On the internet, I go by Freck because that's cool. I'm making one of these YouTube video things, which I've been considering doing for a long time because, for one, I'm a narcissist. For two, I kind of like the idea of having just sort of a record of what I looked like and how I felt about things for my future self because my memory ain't so good. Uh, so I don't remember my exact opinions on things that was my opinion like 3 years ago because I'm me now. I don't remember what me 3 years ago was up to. So having a recording seems like a good idea way to preserve that. And the other reason that I was thinking about making a video is because it's what all the cool kids do, and I want to be one of the cool kids. Uh, I guess the subject of this is, the interesting thing about me, because my most interesting personality traits are the politicizable ones, is the fact that I am one of them big, scary, detransitioned women, meaning that between the ages of like 13-ish to 21-ish, 22 now, I uh, did identify as transgender. I identified as male. I was very boring about the whole thing. I called myself what they said in the old days was true scum. I wasn't, non binary or anything like that. I thought it was all pretty silly. I was a very boring, normative sort of a guy, I thought, for a while. And just sort of what a weird ass trip it is to not believe that anymore. There's a lot. It's basically my life story with all of the bits that I really care about removed, because that's life. I have a nice list of the things to talk about. Uh, so it started. The easiest place to start is from my childhood. That's where everything starts. So there was a lot of things about me in my past that were traits or memories of myself that when I discovered that, trans men were a thing, I was like, oh man, that's totally the thing that I am. Stuff from my childhood. Uh, this one's really boring, but clothes. It was a yearly. I had to get school clothes and various things and presents at Christmas, and it was awful. It was literally always awful and ended in me crying. I know that a lot of people can just. It's so stupid in hindsight because it's like, good God, why was I crying over the fact that they wanted me to wear stuff with flowers on it? But to this day, like, I still don't want to wear floral print things, and it was being forced on me, and it was the most important thing going on because that was the story of my life for the first many years. Up until I, moved out west and we lost. I became broke essentially, and started having to do all of my shopping from thrift stores where my dad didn't care that I only wanted to wear black t-shirts and flannels. And my life improved significantly because there weren't people trying to make me wear things with cute phrases or flowers on them anymore. There's a lot more to that. That's just a very brief overview. Um, let's see, what other. I don't know. I had your typical tomboy thing going on a lot, but due to other circumstances, mostly related to being a big nerd, so it's like no one really noticed as much that I hated girl things with a burning passion, because I didn't associate them with being, girl things or boy things, because all that I liked was sitting inside in my room and reading Harry Potter again and living on the internet. So, that's a pretty androgynous set of hobbies right there. And that was, you know, what I was into. But there was so much. It's actually no. You know what? It's not worth trying to sum up my life for a 5-minute YouTube video. You people don't know me. Those are a couple of the things that happened to me that really made my life awful for being a 12-year-old, and also contributed to my major disconnect with like my meat suit that I still deal with on a daily basis. It's getting better, but I'm being a human in a flesh suit. Ugh, who wants that? Um, so I should have planned this better. Anyways, where I am now. Yes, that was the thing I was going to talk about. So, in the past year, I uh, basically. It's funny because nothing's really changed for me, like presentation wise. I still go by the same name. I never got my documents changed back then. Um, my voice is a little lower than it was, but most everything else is sort of evened back to the sort of androgynous, weird masculine, but I guess it's a chick sort of thing. Like, that's just been my life forever, so nothing's changed at all. Really, the only thing that has changed for me since detransitioning is that for a time when I was, really trying to be read as male, doing stuff like binding and not talking a lot or talking with a lower register when I did talk, um, being really hung up on what my hair looked like, even though it made no difference. I either look like a really weird girl or a 14-year-old boy if I'm read as male. That's whatever. What do I want to look like today? Do I want to, look my age or uh, I had no choice over the whole thing, actually. Anyways, so the thing is that nothing is really changed about my presentation. The only thing that has changed is that back then I would put effort into being read as male, and I would be read as, really young or a girl anyways, and I would feel bad about it, and I'd be like, good God, people aren't seeing me for who I am, and I need to hurry up and get this hormones thing going, and I need to change how I'm dressing myself, and I need to do all of this because I have gender dysphoria, and so I am a male on the inside, and that's what my brain is. And if people won't accept that and start treating me properly, good God, that's just gonna suck forever. Uh, that hasn't really changed much. It's just literally what has changed is that now, if I am read either way, if someone reads me as a girl, I'm like, ah, they noticed. That's rare. Or if they read me as a dude, I'm like, yeah, I do kind of look like a dude. That's okay, and it's just sort of what they think and what they see, and I don't want to judge anybody else or make it sound like I think people are wrong for caring about how other people are viewing them, because that's not accurate at all. It's not actually something you really have a lot of control over, how you feel emotionally about things. It's the change that I had with regards to how I feel about how I'm viewed came through putting in the effort to being viewed as male all the time and realizing, oh no, wait, as much as I prefer the form, the social role that dudes are expected to play is, better, but still really shitty in its own way, so I'm just not going to play any of your games. And really cutting down my social circle and who I interact with, like online or in media, I don't I still like I get actually upset when I'm reminded about how strong and awful the just like pressure to do femininity practices is because I sucked at that. So if if I hear someone talking about how they shave their legs, but they hate it, but they feel like they have to, that's gonna piss me off, and it happens to me like all the time. Um, but what was I talking about? Oh, basically the point is you can't really control like I can't control what my reactions to all of that are. I can become more aware of those reactions and try to do something about it. But all right, I don't watch movies, really, popular movies. I don't read magazines. I pretty much just cut myself off from all of the sort of things that upset me. And I really only interact with like people who don't give a shit what I look like or how I act because my family's pretty decent. That's nice. My partner's a great guy. And I don't give a shit about anyone else. The only other people I talk to are like people I buy cigarettes from. And they've asked, I get asked fairly regularly, like, what's your deal? What are you? What's going on here? And it's a challenge, to just be honest and say I'm just a really lazy girl. I'm just really lazy. Like you see how this is all gone? Do you have any idea how this dries in like 10 seconds after I get out of the shower? And even if I wanted to do something nice with it, which has happened a grand total of like 3 occasions throughout my life, generally job interviews, like I couldn't do anything with it if I wanted to. That's so awesome. I don't think that I wear pants that aren't jeans. And most of the jeans I wear are stolen from my partner, so they're too long and I have to roll them up a bunch, and I don't give a shit, you know. Um, I was blessed with pretty good acne genes all throughout high school, so I'd have people being like, "Wow, your skin is so good. What's your secret?" And I'm like, I live. I know what exfoliation is. I can't avoid that. I'm just consciously choosing to not waste my time on what's pointless, and I see that now as not a sign that I was, male or meant to be a dude. That's a sign that the things expected of women are dumb and shitty, and I don't want to do it. So I don't. um, and really, that's all that's changed. But it's a weird life. It's a hard life. Being constantly confusing to people. This is long enough for an introduction. This is dumb. I rambled too much, but I did it, and I've been talking for nearly. It's probably gonna end up being 15 minutes. So I feel like after having spoken for 15 minutes, I'm not gonna have the energy to re-record now that I sort of know what I want to say and edit it down like a smart. So, internet, welcome to Dylan. Ask me some questions if you want. I might answer them, or I might get internet agoraphobic and never talk to anyone again. That's also an option. I like to keep things open. Okay. I did it. Yay.